Okay, hey y'all. I'm here just a few hours before the Academy Awards are going to air, the 90th Annual Academy Awards. Since I did such a decent job making predictions for the Grammys, I thought it would be cool to make predictions for the Academy Awards. I do want to start including more reviews of movies and things like that on my page. And so I thought it would be cool to do that starting here with my video first, since we only have a couple of hours. I think they're actually even doing red carpets right now. So, okay, I'll make this quick. I'm only doing the top awards, the top categories, and I have a couple of disclaimers. I have not seen all of the movies. I've seen trailers. I've seen all of the trailers, at least all of the trailers for Best Picture, and then all of the trailers for the Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Supporting. I've seen those trailers. And so I'm going to make my predictions based on what I've seen, and then just all of what I've learned about different movies over the course of this award season. So I'll make it quick. We're starting with Best Picture. And again, another disclaimer, apologies in advance for mispronouncing any titles or names, anything like that. My apologies in advance. I'm doing my best. All right, Best Picture. Nominees. We have Begonia, Marty Supreme, Train Dreams, F1, Sinners, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value. So my predictions will be what I think, if I had a vote, if I was a voting member of the Academy, what I would choose, and then what I think the Academy will choose. That's what I did with the Grammys, so I'll do that here. If I were a voting member, I've only seen 3 of these, but I saw the other trailers. If I were a voting member, I'm torn between Train Dreams and Sinners. I've seen neither movie, but the trailers look really good. Train Dreams looks like something that I would want to see. Sinners looks like something, based on what I saw in the trailer and what I've learned about the movie, seems like it was really well done. I am anti-horror film, so I'll probably never see Sinners. But based on what I saw, it looks like a really well executed movie. So if I had to choose, I'd pick Sinners. I think the Academy is going to be torn between 3. Sinners, Hamnet, One Battle After Another. I think ultimately the Academy will go for Hamnet. I think that will be their choice. But if any of the other 2 movies out of the 3 wins, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think ultimately they'll go with Hamnet. That is a movie I saw. I didn't love it, but I could see the Academy going for that. Next, we have Best Actor. We've got Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, and Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon. If I were a voting member, I'm torn between 2 actors, and I'm not choosing one, but I'm torn between Leonardo DiCaprio and Michael B. Jordan. I love Michael B. Jordan. I think from what I've learned about how he prepared for these roles and what he did during the movie, to show that, like, okay, he's playing 2 characters, and to show up as different characters in his role. Like one of his co-stars said, like, he wore different shoes, for example, just to have a different stride in his walk for one character over the other. Like, that's really thoughtful preparation. And what I saw of him in the trailer, he looks like he does a phenomenal job. I'm a anti-horror movie. I'm not going to see it, so I won't know much more than what I saw in the trailer. I think he did a good job, and I would be torn. He's half of my vote, if I've got one vote. The other half is Leonardo DiCaprio. I think Leonardo DiCaprio, anytime he's nominated, he should win. I think he's stellar in everything. If you're judging an award based on performance, he's going to give you a best performance every time he acts. The problem I have is that I don't always love his films. One Battle After Another was one of those I did not love. But in the role, as far as performance, he's stellar. Always. Um, so Michael B. Jordan and Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm just split in half over those two. That's me. I think the Academy will give it to Wagner Moura. I was actually, after what I saw of the trailer, I'm interested in seeing that movie, just like I am with Train Dreams for Best Picture. Those are two films, The Secret Agent and Train Dreams. Based on what I've seen, I'm going to pursue watching those in the future. I think the Academy will give it to Wagner Moura. But if they give it to Michael B. Jordan, I won't be surprised. I think they like him too. Next up, we have Best Actress. I don't personally have a dog in this fight. I did not love the Best Actress performances this year. I like the actresses. I didn't love the performances. So, Best Actress nominees: Emma Stone for Begonia, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Renata Reinsve for Sentimental Value, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue. I think the Academy will choose between Jessie Buckley for Hamnet and Emma Stone for Begonia. I am going to go with the unpopular choice and think that the Academy will give it to Jessie Buckley. I think they love Emma Stone, though, so that's the tough part. And I think the Academy wants to give something to Kate Hudson. That's just my thought. But I'm going to go with the unpopular choice, and I'm going to say they're going to pick Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. I think they love Hamnet. I've not seen anything from any of the awards, but just based on what I saw from Hamnet is one of the movies I watched. I can see that being like an Academy favorite. Just based on what I saw, I feel like that's a popular choice amongst voters. I have no clue because I'm not a voting member, but unpopular choice, Jessie Buckley will take it home. All right, Best Director, we've got Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. If I had a vote, I'd give it to Ryan Coogler. Again, it looked like a really well done production based on the trailer I saw, and then what I've seen and heard from cast members throughout that made me think like, oh wow, that sounds phenomenal. And then what I saw, like, oh, that's pretty interesting, pretty well done. Oh, that actor, oh, I can see that going somewhere, but I do not pay my money for somebody to jump out at me. No, thank you. But it looked really well done. So I'd give it to Ryan Coogler out of everyone. And I think the Academy will go for Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. I already said I think it's an Academy favorite, even though I have no clue. Next up, Best Supporting Actor. Nominees: Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. If I had a vote, I'm torn between Delroy Lindo, who he's one of my personal favorite actors of all time. I think he doesn't get the credit that he deserves, so that's my personal bias. I love Delroy Lindo. And then I'm also torn between Sean Penn, One Battle After Another. I think he gave a stellar performance. Like, Sean Penn was magnificent in One Battle After Another. Did not love the movie, loved the performance. Just like Leonardo DiCaprio. And same thing with Benicio del Toro. I thought the one time I laughed during that movie, it was Benicio del Toro's scene, and I loved it. His character was just so much more mellow, nuanced. He's just a smooth actor, so I love him. But if I had a vote, I'd give it to Delroy Lindo. I think the Academy is going to be torn between Delroy Lindo and Stellan Skarsgård. And I think they'll give it to one of those two gentlemen. And they've had quite the careers, so either one of them would be deserving of it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Academy will give it to Delroy Lindo, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to Stellan Skarsgård. Best Supporting Actress, Tiana Taylor, One Battle After Another. Amy Madigan, Weapons. Wunmi Masaku for Sinners. Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value. Inga, Ib's daughter, Lilius for Sentimental Value. Sorry, my dog wants my attention. If I had a vote, I'd give it to Wunmi Masaku for Sinners. And I didn't see Weapons because, again, that looked like a horror movie. Not something I would watch. But Amy Madigan's performance in the trailer, she looked crazy as a Bessie Bug, as my grandma would say. So it looks like pretty good acting. But I think I would give it to Wunmi Masaku, and I think that the Academy will also give it to her. So that's my vote for Best Supporting Actress. Next up, cinematography. We've got Dan Lawston for Frankenstein, Darius Kanji for Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Michael Bauman. Sinners, we've got Autumn Durald Archipel, and then for Train Dreams, Adolfo Veloso. I'd give it to Train Dreams, Adolfo Veloso. I think the Academy will give it to Dan Lawston. My thoughts. Costume design, I don't even need to name the other nominees. Ruth E. Carter in every lifetime, in every nomination. Ruth E. Carter. I don't even care. All right, and then last, music original song. The nominees: Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless, music and lyrics by Diane Warren. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, music and lyrics by EJ. Mark Sonnenblick, Jung Yu Kwak, Yuhan Lee, Hee Dong Nam, and Jeong Hoon Seo. Next up, I Lied to You from Sinners, music and lyrics by Raphael Sadiq and Ludwig Göransson. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi, music and lyrics by Nicholas Pike. And Train Dreams from Train Dreams, music by Nick Cave and Bryce Desmer, lyrics by Nick Cave. I'm torn between I Lied to You from Sinners and Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. Diane Warren is music. She's written so many songs, and I think a lot of people don't fully understand how much she's contributed to the landscape of popular music in the 20th century, 20th and 21st century. Diane Warren is phenomenal, and she deserves flowers. I think, so I'm torn between her and I Lied to You. Raphael Sadiq is a treasure. I love him. I love what he does with R&B music, and I love that he's broadening outside of R&B and neo-soul music so that, you know, what he's contributing to the different music types, music genres, you know, adds a little pep, a little zip to the songs. It's like, oh man, who wrote that? Wait, that's Raphael Sadiq? So I love that he's part of this. I'd give it to I Lied to You from Sinners. I think the Academy will give it to Dear Me for Diane Warren. And those are the only guesses I have. So come back in a couple of hours and see, you know, who the actual winners are. If y'all want to chime in the comments and let me know who you think should win, I'd be so stoked to see what you all had to say. But for now, countdown to the actual awards. Maybe we'll come back and talk about the outfits from the red carpet if I get to see any. All right. Talk to y'all later.